What's up, everybody? On today's show, we're doing the DCU new slate that they have. We're talking comic books, video games, so much more. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome, everybody, to the show today. We're asking the question, why so serious? Justin made a nice little GIF, so I decided to make the show title fit the thumbnail that he made for us. But how you guys doing? Justin, Mike?
Okay.
Whoa.
Justin, you sound like...
Sorry, the soundboard has like voice editing things, and I had the thing clicked for voice change.
You sounded like you were on Cybertron for a second there.
Sweet. As a robot. Sorry about that.
You were Soundwave.
There's a lot to talk about today. A lot of cool shows got renewed, at least shows that I enjoy. We've got the DCU slate by James Gunn. We're going to talk some video games and just so much more. And before I get into the titles of the James Gunn thing, I just want to say I don't care. Like, I love James Gunn so much. He's one of my favorite filmmakers. He's probably in my top 10. But DC has given us so many slates, and like they haven't come true, or they have just in bits and pieces. And I'm just afraid that the same thing is going to happen with this slate. Like, Superman's going to come out, and then we're not going to get it. And I did like that James Gunn took some jabs at the previous administration of Warner Brothers. I know that Warner Brothers isn't very happy that he was insulting the previous people that were running Warner Brothers, but I thought they were funny. And he even took a jab at The Rock, because The Rock thought he was getting his hands on all of this fun universe stuff. But I mean, I want to see everything that they announced, but I can't get excited for it until it's closer to actually being, like, if the films are made, I still can't get excited because they shelved Batgirl. So, like, it's really hard for me to root for DC right now. I know that The Flash is something that a lot of people have a lot of hopes for, and I'm looking forward to it. Ezra Miller has his problems, but there's a way more people involved with that movie than just him, so they're still going to get my money. But I'm going to go through the titles that were announced, and then we could talk about them. We have Superman Legacy, written by James Gunn. We have The Authority, which I'm not familiar with. The Brave and the Bold, which is Batman and Robin story. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, and Swamp Thing. The TV shows we have are Creature Commandos, Waller, Booster Gold, Lanterns, Paradise Lost. And then, of course, Peacemaker Season 2, which isn't on this slate, but we already know that's coming. I mean, what do you guys think of the potential, I guess, is what we're going to go with this. Oh, good talk, guys.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think how excited I am about it. I'm lukewarm.
Go ahead, Justin.
And I can't say I'm super excited about anything. I mean, I'm excited for Peacemaker, but we knew that was coming. I loved Peacemaker, but I'm not sure, to be honest.
It's hard to get excited because they've gypped us in the past by not releasing stuff we were excited about. Like, we were all excited Michael Keaton was coming back, and now I've heard that like 90% of the stuff he filmed is cut. So it's just really hard to get excited for anything DC. And again, I love James Gunn. If any of these projects happen, of course, I'm going to be excited to see them because James Gunn was involved, but it's just too far out. Like, I think 2025 is when we're getting the first film on this slate. That's still so many years away, and so much can happen between now and then that could make it not happen. I want to see James Gunn's Superman. I really hope it happens. I think that could be fun and exciting.
Well, all I can say, Jason, is welcome to my side of the fence here, where you just don't care. Except I apply this to DC, Marvel, comic book movie stuff in general now. And also, like, it's not that, like, I'm going to wait around and see what comes. I'm just like, I just don't care what they put out now anymore. So it's just like, it means absolutely nothing to me anymore. And I think it's just part of the growing up process, especially after you know what goes on behind the scenes with the reshuffling of higher ups and how it's all just meant to be more of marketing strategy than actually giving you something worthwhile and entertaining, probably for the most part. So I'm sure there'll be some good stuff. Like you said, stuff's just being developed now. Like, nothing's actually been filmed or animated or whatnot. But it's just like I just don't care. I don't care about that. I don't care that Ant-Man and the Wasp whatever Mania is coming out in like
I do. I
a
can't wait.
week. I do not care about anything Marvel anymore. Like I'll watch it for free somehow eventually if I'm curious enough. But I'm just like the only thing I care about now is Spider-Verse because that actually takes creative risks. Actually seems like it cares about the story. It wants to tell and put out a good quality story for all ages and not just diehard fans or anything like that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to that when it shows up. I think in April. But then outside of that, whatever.
See, if this,
Whatever.
for me, if this were a Marvel announcement, I would probably get more excited because at least I know what product I'm
I
getting
can't.
from Marvel.
I
Well, I
can't
know.
look at, I can't look at that stupid I can't look at that stupid PowerPoint presentation Feige brings out to a crowd every quarter. I can't look at it anymore and just be like, it's like looking in the void because I'm just like, oh, cool, he's got this all set up until 2048.
I
No surprises. Like I can't get excited about what's his name about Kang or John. I like Jonathan Majors as an actor, but I can't get excited about a character that I know is sticking around for at least 6 more films. And I'm just like, cool. It's building up to another thing I've already seen.
I'm excited for the Marvel stuff. We know it's coming, and we know the certain level of quality we're gonna get. Like we know what we're getting with Marvel, but with DC, we don't know like what's coming out, when it's coming out, if it's coming out. Like even when they film something, it doesn't necessarily come out, and that just it bugs me. And they're James Gunn said that Batgirl was unwatchable or unreleasable, and it's like. But that you guys just a few months ago were telling us that it had this awesome audience reaction. Like, I still want to see it.
Marketing.
Yeah.
It's all about the higher ups being able to shuffle around stuff that they're like, here's how it can be profitable for us if we keep something shelved or if we keep something active. I don't understand the reasoning. I mean, I do because it's money and they don't care. They've already put out millions of dollars in terms of making the Flash movie happen. So they're not going to trash it just because they're actors. I don't know, a criminal. But so, whatever. Like, I'm not going to watch that movie probably at any point soon. Just based on that, just because I'm like, there's too much dirty business already behind the production of that film already.
I mean, I am excited for Swamp Thing though, just because I really do enjoy Swamp Thing. Hopefully they do it well. But
I'm like I said, any of these movies, like if you told me they were coming out in a month and they were already filmed and we had a release date and we had the trailers coming out, I would start to get excited for any one of these titles. It's just there's too much unknown between now and then. It's DC. He should have come out and just said we got Superman coming out in 2025, and as long as everything looks good, then we'll announce another slate of movies after Superman comes out. And I mean that would be cool, like to watch Superman and then find out that you're getting another DC movie like 2 months later without any like build up. I would like that. But speaking of Ant-Man, Max already got our tickets for that. I'm super excited. Justin, if you want to go, I'll get you a ticket too and you can join us because
he texted me. I think I'm already on board, but I reach out to him. But yes, I'm down to go.
I was like, if Kylie doesn't want to go, then Justin can come as my date. Like we did with Avatar. But I'm right now I'm in Scream excitement mode, and one of the things that's really bothering me about Scream, and maybe this is just another thing, but I do like theorizing and so forth to an extent, but now that the movie is coming out, like people are trying to give everything away on the internet. Like, did you see this happen? It's like let's calm down. Like, I'm down for theorizing before the movie's like been shown to anybody, but now that we've got screenings and just stuff floating around, like I don't want to know. I don't want to know who the killer is before I go. I mean, that's the whole fun of a whodunit is finding out who the killer was and not just sitting in the theater knowing what's going to happen and being like, okay, let's go.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean. Is there a lot of fanfare for this one? Are people really excited for this new Scream?
Dude, I didn't realize that the Scream fandom was still doing all of this because I remember when Scream 1, 2, and 3 came out, there was a lot of online stuff. This is back in the early days of the internet where you could theorize and so forth, and it was fun. And then with Scream 5, there was some of that as well. And then Scream 6, like Scream is huge as far as theorizing goes on the internet because it's horror, it's a legacy, and so far, for the most part, fans don't believe that there's been a bad movie yet. But we'll see. But guys don't have to give everything away. Like, I don't even click on the videos anymore because I don't want to know. I want to enjoy my experience. I also don't care about the Super Bowl trailers because I can watch them online.
Yeah, same.
You're like, we're getting a 30-second Fast and Furious spot. Yeah, that's fine. I'm not going to watch the Super Bowl. It's all on YouTube now.
I don't mind I don't care about the trailer so much as like I just want to figure out what's going on with Maya Rudolph and the M&Ms. Like I'm feeling that's a long con. Like M&Ms was like, well, okay, since whenever we change something up with our M&M characters, someone throws a hissy fit about it being like a woke thing or whatever, we're just gonna get rid of them and have Maya Rudolph be our spokesperson. And I saw one of the commercials for Maya Rudolph's Mice or whatever she's calling them now, and I'm like, okay, this is leading towards a Super Bowl commercial. It's like they knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
Like I care about that more than I care about a slate of DC movies. What's going on in the M&M universe?
It's important.
It's important to me, clearly.
I thought that was a movie that you were sleeping on, and I was like, "What is this?" Eminem in the roof.
It's a new
That was a big thing. The M&M's is like, we're proud to announce we're retiring our M&M's characters, but we're proud to now announce our partnership with comedian Maya Rudolph to be our spokesperson from here on out. And I'm like, as soon as I heard about that, I'm like, oh, this is leading towards a Super Bowl commercial. It's gonna be like the Mr. Planner's death from a couple of years ago. It's just like,
I hope so. I hope you're right, because that would be great. That would be the best.
That's marketing done right in a fun, whimsical, creative way, and it's not just like whatever.
She's eating the green peanut. Just like, hey, how's it going?
Something we haven't talked about yet. Have you guys heard of? Are you guys excited about the new Mel Brooks movie, History of the World Part 2?
I'm not sure I heard about it until just
I
now.
didn't even know he was doing it.
Yeah, it comes out on Hulu in like a few months, I believe.
Sweet.
Oh.
I mean, I'll watch it. I like Mel Brooks.
Yeah, me too.
I'll give it a go.
Has he made anything recently? Like, is this his first movie in a while?
That's a curiosity for me because it's like I don't know if he's been involved in anything outside of a producer's role. Like, is he directing it? Writing it?
I know he's in it. I don't think that he is directing it.
Oh man, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah,
if he's not in the writer director's chair of it, I don't mind him starring
it's a little
in
sketchy.
it. That's a little sketchy. Like, and honestly, I kind of feel like he's up there in years that they're just like, we'll give you a ton of money just to
right, be Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is producing it, and it's actually not a movie. It's an 8-episode miniseries.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. That could be interesting too, I guess. I don't know. But I'm usually very wary of stuff he's not directly involved in the creative control of, such as writing and directing. Like, I don't know. Like I said, it's hard. That's the thing. It's hard to think of something where he wasn't, the kind of the captain of the ship. Like even the producer's musical, like he had a heavy hand in creating the aesthetic and the book for that production. So
he did write the show.
Okay, maybe it'll be good then. I don't know, but
yeah, we'll see. It doesn't say characters by; it says written by. So
cool.
Like I said, I did not know about it until you just told me. So
yeah, same.
One of the actors was on Celebrity Jeopardy. That's how I found out. 2 days ago when I was watching Jeopardy. But yeah, I'm excited. All my shows got renewed. Night Court and that 90s show and Quantum Leap. Yesterday, we speaking of woke, I have a comment here from a fan that watched our Mattalk short that Justin released, and I'm going to edit this for the podcast. But his comment was, "This sounds effing terrible. It's literally just going to be more woke garbage," which he's referring to Kathy Bates playing the main character on the Matlock reboot, because I think it's perfect, but I'm not going to get into that again. You guys can watch the video yesterday. But people are very up in arms about, Matlock being replaced by a female actress.
yeah, because that's the new grift: is you get outraged when something gets retinkered for the 21st century. and claim it's because of like a liberalist agenda or whatever. It's because that's how you get views and that's how you get money and sponsor. So it's like it's so whatever. Like I'm not even gonna watch a thing. I didn't even watch. You mentioned Night Court, and I heard that was out. And like I have no interest in watching Night Court at all. And it's just like that's the thing. Just don't watch it.
Do you think that the hash of these types of shows being released coincides with the boomers retiring? Like we're just like cycling into like their childhoods, like, you know what I mean? Like, hey, we have a generation that might enjoy this stuff, and they're about to have a bunch of free time.
I don't know, because our parents are boomers, and my parents definitely don't give a crap about any of this. Okay. So I think it's a grift, dude. This have you seen any of those YouTube channels out there where it's like every other video back in 2019 was harping on Brie Larson for whatever reason because
just for existing for a while.
And I'm not saying like whatever, like she's a celebrity. I don't really care, but it's just like that gets repetitive and boring, but it farms views. It farms eyeballs because there's just that many angry losers.
Aaron says, "How's it going, fellas? It's going super well, man. Super well. I can't wait to be on your show soon."
But it's hella dope.
Yeah, everybody just calm down. If you don't like it, don't watch it. If you have no interest in it, don't watch it. That's all I can say to you. Just stop crying about it.
Apathy is so much easier to live with everyone. Just don't give a shit. Oh, sorry. There it goes.
Oh, crap. You gotta get to my counter.
I think shit's fine.
Oh, is it? We good?
That's also why I'm stumbling on my words, too, because I'm trying to be the most diplomatic about this, given our new brand refocus, because even we're doing the marketing thing on here.
It's forced.
We want to be Disney Plusable.
No, we don't need to be Disney Plusable. Hulu would be fine. Put us on Hulu.
It's the same thing. It's Disney.
We can say shit on Hulu. I want to thank everybody. We're up to 15,000 views in the last few weeks. So thanks everybody for tuning in and watching us and sticking around and subscribing and checking out the long form content. We greatly appreciate it. Justin's been really hard at work at, getting us promoting and so forth. I've been on my social media game. I was even looking at some TikTok stuff today to see if I wanted to try to do that. I was going to do I Feel Pretty, but I got to clear that with my daughter first because I don't want her to get.
I will be dead before I'm on a TikTok. I want you to know that. I will help whatever you want, but I will not be on a TikTok. I'm not a fan.
Well, yeah. Before you're willingly on a TikTok, someone can easily just screen grab.
Yes, 100%. Yeah. Oh, we should talk about all the AI stuff. Have you guys been keeping up with like the Chat GP, I think is the term, and like all the different AI things? Like certain news article places are using AI now to write some articles and like more as a useful tool, but like it's crazy how AI is like starting to evolve and impact like the workforce and like gaming news articles. I'm sure are going to change with it. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of stuff. Like there's a YouTuber yesterday I was watching a video about how he you can recreate people's voices pretty easily. Like they did Obi-Wan. Yeah,
they did the real Slim Shady had it been recorded in 2022, and the AI sounded just like Eminem. Like it was creepy listening to it because it sounds like him, and it's using similar, phrasing and stuff that he would use, and it was just like freaky to listen to because it's computer generated.
Yeah,
cool. I can't wait for that to be abused.
Yeah, I was like, that's what's going to spiral us into a dystopia.
It's already being abused. So it's just like we need an actual Y2K to fry everything. So.
Let's go back to farming.
Yeah. You won't have to worry about DC projects then because it'll take forever.
James Gunn in the farm.
Etched out on papyrus and sent to you.
That's awesome. Just go to the Egyptians. There's a bunch of cat things imprinted on the stone.
The 25th Batman movie is going to be a Shakespeare in the Park experience.
But it's still Patterson.
It's still Patterson. Yeah.
No, if anybody's wondering, Max has not left the show. He will be back. He's just got doing stuff on his personal side of things.
Hopefully soon.
Yep, hopefully very soon. Because I miss him on the show.
Hopefully, because I want to switch out with him and take things easy for a while. Like
Yeah, Mike has been
because I'm like, I feel like we should have
Three people.
three geeks on here, and I know it's you and Justin for the most part. So.
It's appreciated, Mike, very much.
Yes, absolutely. There's so much going on in the entertainment side of things. I'm excited about the potential of this new Friday the 13th series we have coming out. It's hard to talk about original stuff because it hasn't come out yet. Like Everything Everywhere All at Once, I hadn't heard of that until I saw a trailer for that. That ended up being amazing.
Isn't that awesome to be
surprised?
surprised
It's the best. Yeah,
it's awesome to be surprised by something instead of like knowing that it's coming 5 years down the road. I'm not letting go of this. I'm sorry.
No, I think it's one of my favorite things. Like I liked the Green Knight. I know a lot of people didn't, but I enjoyed the Green Knight, and I didn't know what to expect when I got there because I didn't even know it was a Fable or whatever prior to. And I was like, oh, this is fun. I like this.
Yeah, I watched a Gerard Butler movie this week. Trying to pull up the title of it. It was called. One second, everybody. Oh, next week we have Halia Jones joining us again.
Woo!
It's our most reoccurring.
I know.
Guest, and I absolutely love her.
She gets a set of steak knives this time for her 10th appearance.
Just a chef's knife, please, because we can't afford the whole set.
Yeah, so the movie was called Last Seen Alive. Gerard Butler is keeping the format of 80s action films alive and well. I absolutely loved it for what it was. It wasn't something I'm not going to recommend to everybody. If you're not a fan of like the 80s, 90s action movies, this isn't for you. But I have a special place in my heart for these movies because they remind me of my childhood going to the movies with my dad, seeing, Arnold movies or Van Damme or Seagal. Less Seagal. We were more into the other two, but it's fun. I liked it. His wife gets kidnapped and then he has to try to find her. It's, the plot of everything.
Taken 1 through 11. Yeah, it's great though.
All right. Thoughts on Power Rangers after this 30th and final season? Oh, thoughts on Netflix taking over Power Rangers. I think Netflix already has taken over Power Rangers. I think Dino Cosmic Fury or whatever, Dino Fury is Netflix. I started Dino Fury and it's cheesy. It's so bad.
It's Power Rangers. That's what all his Power Rangers has always been, right? I mean, I feel like that's kind of the quintessential.
No, but they're using like bad CG. It's not practical like it used to be.
Oh,
I mean, except for the Power Rangers movie.
Oh, so it's not like monsters in suits then, or guys in monster suits.
As a kid, I loved that, and I loved like trying to find like the random like boom mic in the shot and things like that.
Oh no, the monsters are still people in costumes. It's the Zords are like all CG, and then like the big battles at the end. Oh, and the kids are fine in the show, and the martial arts is still top notch. It's just some of the writing is very cheesy. I watched like 4 episodes, I think. This is because I was doing something else, so it was in the background. But I am super excited about the 30th anniversary that they're doing with the original cast. That should be fun.
I don't mean this to be mean, but has Power Rangers ever had good writing? Like, I'm not trying to poop on. I love Power Rangers, but like,
I mean, I never watched much of it. But go ahead, Jason. You're the Power Rangers guy, so
there was moments like the comic book that they have out now that has some good writing, but like the original show it's fine.
It's just whatever was available to them too, because I think someone mentioned in the comments there, it's like they probably ran out of Japanese footage to in the archives. So
it's just now they're splicing different kicks together.
that was some of the creative things I appreciated of them after the fact. Like I didn't realize they're taking from a Japanese show and trying to make it work for an American audience with American cast. That's interesting.
Power Rangers was 3 shows tied together. It's what they filmed in the US, and then it was 2 different things in the the Zord battles was one thing, and then them in the costumes was another thing. And I don't know. The original show has nostalgia for me. I will absolutely love it till the day I die. But this new show, it's not really for me. I don't think. I just can't get into it like I could with the original. Like I said, the actors are fine.
Yeah.
They're doing what they can with the Power Rangers show. That's all I can say.
it's as long running as I've been alive. So I appreciate them keep going. Because I mean, as a kid, that was my favorite show. I just wake up, grab a bowl of cereal, watch Power Rangers, and have a good day. You know what I mean? So
I like that
hopefully
the
somebody else get that too.
kids get to find Power Rangers. They get to find their generation of Power Rangers. Like I have Mighty Morphin. Somebody likes Zeo. Somebody likes Samurai. I think there's a Samurai show.
I think Space was my favorite.
Now that I feel is a good example of like a franchise that knows how to keep itself going without feeding too much into hype. Because it's like you just know every couple of years you're going to get a new team of Rangers that you mentioned, like what's it called, Dino Thunder or something, or
Dino Thunder was a while ago. Dino Fury, I think.
Fury.
The new one's called.
So you'll get something like Power Rangers Ambulance Patrol or something. I don't know. Like any excuse to have like a new
There's a group of lawyers that transform.
Yeah.
Ambulance chasers.
Power Rangers Notaries or something. You know, like you're gonna get a new team of characters with a new gimmick or a new focus in terms of their powers, and you know, it's something different for, like you said, the next generation to establish as their Power Rangers or whatever. So that's fine.
Yeah.
And it's fun enough and simple enough. It's like whatever.
What I want is an animated series based on the comic books because I'm really enjoying those. Like we found out who the big bad was in the fourth trade, and it ends up being Tommy from an alternate universe that never.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert from a comic book released 6 years ago. We find out it's Tommy from another universe that after he broke the curse, he decided to still be evil. And that's been the villain so far, and I dig that. It's kind of fun to see the two Tommies interact with each other. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But what have you guys been watching, reading, enjoying?
Well, to tail off of what you said, I actually picked up the first couple of issues of Ninja Turtles meets Power Rangers because that's going to be my blind spot is Ninja Turtles. So I fibbed earlier. I'm looking forward to Spider-Verse, and I'm looking forward, or not looking forward, but curious to see what Seth Rogen does with Turtles. And Power Rangers Ninja Turtles 2 is interesting. They're all buddies now, and they like to go hang out with each other and stuff. And Rita is teamed up with Krang, and the Shredder is MIA, but I'm sure will return in glorious fashion. And Casey is voluntarily working for the bad guys for some reason. So.
If the Shredder doesn't become like a 10 stories tall like monster, and like the Power Rangers use their Zords to fight him,
he took on Green Ranger's powers in the previous series.
All right.
So he was the heavy essentially. He turned Bebop and Rocksteady into giant. Well, they were like towering Bebop and Rocksteady in New York City.
That makes sense. That's interesting.
And the Turtles were really jazzed because they were given morphing ability, so they were able to go out in public and pretend to be the Power Rangers, and people were like, yeah, you Power Rangers guys rocks, and the Turtles were like, yeah, so this is what it's like to be accepted.
Did they shrink down to like human? Like, did it morph their? Did they still have the shell? I guess is my question for
when
they morphed. Okay.
They're just mutant turtles in Power Ranger suits.
Gotcha. Okay.
We did have a Power Rangers Turtles crossover and Power Rangers in Space. Look at this fun picture. It was the next mutation.
I remember that. Yep. Well, I remember that. Space was my favorite series of Power Rangers when I was a kid. It was great.
That episode was awful. I went back and revisited it recently because I wanted to see, because I forgot Ninja Turtles were on Power Rangers, and oh my god, I've seen one episode of the new mutation and it was awful.
Next mutation sucked. Dare I say, I do remember watching that episode because Ninja Turtles were in the two-parter crossover, and their crossover with the Power Rangers was probably the best episode that Next Mutation ever did, because the actual series itself is annoying. Like,
that'd be a fun top 5 list though. Ones we have blind spots too, like things that, like, regardless of what they put out, you're going to watch. And
there's no top 5 for me. It's just the one.
Just the okay.
It's just the one. It's Ninja Turtles.
I could probably come up with a top 5.
Yeah. Fine, top 3. I'm sure you can find 2 more.
But at the same time, I'm not waiting with bated breath for like, next live action Ninja Turtles is coming in 2030 or something like that. Like, I'm not. They're never going to do that for Ninja Turtles. They're never going to be like, here's our plan for the Ninja Turtleverse.
Don't say never. Don't say never.
I know they're kind of sort of doing it now, because I know they said like Paramount Plus, they're going to do a bunch of like spin-off shows or whatever. But I'm like, we'll see if that happens. But
I am personally excited about Seth Rogen's Ninja Turtles just because of what he's been doing with comic books so far. So I can't wait. But we'll see. Like Mike said, we'll see. Let's see what Seth Rogen does. But Mike, what have you been reading or watching? Anything fun?
I've just been trying to stay warm this weekend, but I watched something yesterday. It was the pilot episode for this new sci-fi show called The Ark, and it was on YouTube for free. So I was just like, oh, this looks interesting, I guess. And it's just basically about like these people who go out into space on a ship called the Ark, which is meant to like colonize a far off planet and stuff like that because Earth is in peril, and something goes wrong which destroys like parts of the ship, and like a majority of the command crew was lost, and so like a bunch of young upstarts have to take over and assume control, and it basically goes Lord of the Flies pretty fast in the first episode. I don't know. The premise is okay. It's something I've seen in other shows and also acted a whole lot better in other shows because I don't know. It held my attention for that 50 minutes, but then after that I'm like, all right, that was cool to check in with that. I'm probably not going to follow up. I'm not that intrigued. So that's it.
I don't know that I've heard of that. That's fine.
Yeah. The first episode's on for free. I've been more interested in Vox Machina, definitely. Nice. I love what they're doing with their, like, every 3 episodes. Jason, you need to get into Vox Machina because your boy Henry Winkler's in it.
I tried the first episode. It's not one I can do while I'm working, so I have to put that aside and watch it later. I have a few shows that I do that with, but
your boy Henry Winkler's in there.
Yeah,
you get Larry Hankin in there too, so he has the trifecta of things, double factor of things that Jason really interested in.
Justin, did you watch one of the best episodes of television that we've had in a few years? And I'm talking about The Last of Us, episode 3.
No, but that's my plan for today. Sorry, I meant to. Like I had like all intent because I've heard it's good, and I would like to check it out.
It is hands down, like I said, the best episode of television we've had in quite a few years. It was so good, so emotional, well acted. Nick Offerman played the lead in this episode, and they do something that a lot of shows and even movies have a tough time doing. They made you believe in this love story and pull you in. And like, it wasn't even the whole episode. Like it was about, I'd say 2/3 of the episode, this love story, but it was so emotionally impactful. And it's so good. I can't really say too much because I don't want to give it away, but some of the best acting I've seen on television in a while, and there's some good shows out there. So that really says a lot. Like Nick Offerman, I didn't know that he had those kind of acting chops. I've only seen him in We're the Millers. I need to watch Parks and Rec.
Oh, you'd love Parks and Rec. Parks and Rec is great. Parks and Rec is great.
Yeah, I that is one I definitely need to check out. But I'm trying to find a picture that I can pull up of the two of them. But
while he's doing that, if you like Nick Offerman, he has a book called Paddle Your Own Canoe, and I really enjoyed it. I read it a couple years ago. It's pretty good. He has other books too. I've not read those though.
We have right here is the couple, and it's just so I can't tell you guys enough how good this episode was. My daughter was homesick and she watched it with me, and she was even gripped into what was happening on the screen, and she had not seen the first 2 episodes of the show. This show continues to get better. I like how they took a minor character from the game and then just gave him this beautiful story. And so, guys, in the apocalypse, just fall in love with a gun-toting conspiracy theory person, and you'll be protected until you die.
I mean, that checks out. I mean, I've watched a lot of those, like, end of the world Netflix prepper shows, and I love them. It's a guilty pleasure of, like, hey, if we have some nuclear fallout, come to the bunker. I have 8,000 cans of dog food we can eat. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, this is another fun one that got review bombed negatively because, people can't handle a same-sex couple.
So this is the 3rd episode then that they aired last week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Number 3.
it's about that time that I start checking in with the show. It's
I
usually
would love
around
to get your opinion. Yeah,
it's around episode 3 of these HBO shows that I'm like, okay, now I'll pick up.
Frank is played by Murray Bartlett. I don't know the guy, but I definitely want to see more of his work.
Cool. I did read a comic book. If we want to talk about that now or later,
we can talk about that now. Absolutely.
I'm not all the way through with it, but I did George Takei's. Oh, sorry, the thing is right in the way. They Called Us Enemies, which is just kind of his life in kind of the Japanese internment camps in World War II and how he kind of grew up there. And it's super interesting because it hits points that growing up, I mean, I knew they were a thing. I knew that in history class, we had put in Japanese people in camps during World War II because of distrust, which is bullshit, right?
Oh, Justin, you said shit.
That's fine. It's fine. Whatever. I mean, if we're going to get demonetized, we're ready for that. But I didn't know that they had to sell all their stuff. I didn't know that they'd lost all their land. I thought in my mind, as my child's mind when I was learning, I thought like we put them in a camp and like as soon as they got removed from the said camp, they go back to their normal lives. But that was not the case at all. I did not know any of that, right? And the first 50 or 60 pages I've read, it's been, I mean, good learning. And I think it's important for people to check out, especially as that generation that lived through it are kind of now passing on, right? George Takei is not a young man. So I think it's important to learn about it and hear about it from folks that lived it.
You know, I was an adult when I found out about the Japanese internment camps. I don't think they taught it to us.
Oh, they definitely hit it in my school. I'm surprised you didn't get covered in yours. But, I mean, they glossed over, right? The history book was just we put Japanese people in a camp. It had nothing to talk about,
It's a Cliff Notes version, like a lot of that. Anything that didn't make us look like, hey, we're the heroes, we kind of got glanced over in our educational system, honestly. So yeah. Basically, around that time, I'm like, even then I was a little skeptical. So I'm just like, I'm going to do my own reading. Like, this is the point where like I do my own research actually pays off. So.
But check it out, especially if you're a World War II person or if you want to learn more about the Japanese internment camps, I would recommend it. It's shown through the child eyes of George Takei and intermixed with, he gave a speech, I think, a couple of years ago around it and kind of layers that in too. But I would check it out.
I like going back and learning about the history on my own, like looking at different angles without the filters of the school. Like, I'm not saying that this theory is true by any stretch of the imagination, but I've been watching Finding Hitler on the History Channel, and just a lot of the stuff that was going on around that time. Like, I can't believe that none of that stuff gets brought up. But like Hitler was sending stuff to this bunker that they believe he escaped to, and this was in FBI files. Like, that's all fascinating to me because we got to question our history a little bit because we're only learning what they want us to learn. And not to sound like a conspiracy theorist at any stretch of the imagination, the earth is round, get over it. But I'm just saying, like, it's an interesting theory because Hitler committing suicide always felt weird to me. Like, why would this narcissist kill himself?
I've kind of lost faith in the History Channel. I'm not gonna lie. Like, since Ancient Aliens has been on for 20 plus years, I feel like now, like, I don't really trust what they push out. But.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty much it. It's like there was a bomb that we dropped or a couple of bombs we dropped. And yeah, that's the only terrible thing we ever did to the Asian people. Apparently, according to the curriculum that was fed to us.
Yeah. Please. Yeah. To Jason's point, though, I think the ultimate thing to call out is read about it, learn about it, try to learn from people that lived it, right? Let's get some firsthand interactions with that. That'd be great. And kind of educate yourselves in that regard. I'm trying
to be curious about stuff that actually matters.
And being curious and questioning something doesn't mean that you don't have faith in it. Like, it doesn't mean you don't have faith in questioning God or questioning, politics. It doesn't mean that you don't believe in the government. It just means that you're finding out your way and how that connects with you. That's all I'm saying. Just do some research outside of what you're taught in school because you'll be surprised what you learn. I know I was with somebody yesterday and I heard a passing comment and I'm white guy about to get into this. So bear with me, folks. It is,
we're already demonetized. It's all good.
Yeah.
I just heard this offhand comment by a black lady, conservative black lady. She said, "Why?" It was on Hulu, and she's like, "Why do we need our own section on Hulu showing Black celebration?" And again, white guy explaining this. I'm white explaining. I completely understand, but this is my take on it. Like, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need that. In a perfect world, we wouldn't need time set aside.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood. I thought you meant like it was this conservative black lady on Hulu, but she was talking about Hulu to you.
Yeah.
Having a Black history, a Black
Okay,
celebration. And in my mind, in a perfect world, we wouldn't need that. We wouldn't need to be told, like, this month, let's go to celebrate these things, because we would be doing it every day. But the truth is, we don't. And I'm guilty of it, as well as a lot of people are. And there's a lot of good Black filmmakers out there. And yes, they get showcased once a year. Like, get over it. Like, it happens once a year, and it shouldn't. It should happen all year round, but unfortunately it doesn't. And that's just my 2 cents. Again, white splaining. I'm sorry. I know. I wish Max was here to give us his 2 cents on this.
That was my thought too. I was like, the one guy I wanted the opinion of on is not here.
But again, in the perfect world, we wouldn't need it.
There's legitimacy of what you're saying, because it's like, yeah, we're here in the 21st century, and we're only, like you mentioned, a majority of people as adults are only just discovering about stuff that was pretty common knowledge to the generations that lived through it and so forth, but they just stopped talking about it or tried to sequester it away to hide that aspect because it wasn't a very flattering portrayal of our society. That's the whole point. That's why we do still have the showcases of, individuals and different demographics and different cultural backgrounds, is because, like, you never know, someone might take that extra initiative after viewing a film from a Black filmmaker about, a piece of Black history, and take it a step further and say, let me read up on this a little bit more. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize about this. So yeah.
No, I get it. But we won't sit on that for too long. Maybe I'll bring it back up when Max is on the show soon. But I read, like I said, the Power Rangers. I read trades 3, 4, and 5 the other day. I was very into it. And I've been reading The Orphan of Cemetery Hill. I'm digging that so far. It takes place in the 1800s. It's not really my typical book that I would read, but I'm trying to branch out this year. But you reading anything else, Justin? You watch anything fun?
Did I watch anything fun?
Any Gerard Butler movies you want to talk about, like Moonfall? I think that's a Gerard Butler movie.
Is it? They did have an Armageddon movie.
You're thinking of Geostorm.
Geostorm.
I watched that and I was like, man, this is a trash movie. But I enjoyed trash, like global apocalypse movies.
I do too. They're a guilty pleasure. I hate that word. I hate that term, guilty pleasure, because if you like it, why do you feel guilty about it? But
because you could spend 2 hours of your life doing something way better.
Well, I do. I enjoy them. Like, I enjoy them. I know they're bad. Like, apocalypse movies all day. Like, I will watch all of them.
Just Bruce Willis drilling into a meteor.
Yeah, a bunch of well-known celebrities in these apocalyptic movies that are so unrealistic in a lot of cases, and I'm there. Except for
I don't think I really watched. I mean, I watched random like YouTube videos, but it had nothing to do with like a consistent dialogue of anything. Like, a series thing, so can't say that it did.
You've been studying YouTube, haven't you?
Well, I watch YouTube more than I watch normal stuff anyway. Like, I lean more into that anyway. I like 10 to 12-minute videos. I don't really get into 30 to an hour long stuff too much.
Good advertisement for the channel, Justin. Justin loves.
I watch our stuff.
He likes 1 hour videos. He thinks they're fantastic. You guys should check them out.
Please check our things out.
And Mike, what do you got coming up on Mike McGTV?
Whenever I get around to it. Yeah, I don't know. Something. I'm in the midst of editing stuff one day at a time. I've been making this like film project that a couple of you have been a part of, or some of our circle have been a part of, audio wise. So I just go back and refine stuff ever so slightly. I'll eventually kind of do like sort of a catch up video log either this week or next week or March, where I talk a little bit about like the stuff that really resonated with me in 2022, but I've pretty much talked about all of it on here already, so whatever. And I'll get back to the Ninja Turtles podcast eventually too, because I
was
do
about to
want
ask you about
stuff.
that.
Yeah, it's just winter just saps me of all my productivity. It just inherently does that, especially when it gets colder. And been dealing with a lot of other personal stuff outside of it that's just taking my focus. But I'm getting through.
Is Jersey pretty warm this week? Columbus is
No,
warm
it's
this week.
frigid.
Is it cold?
It was like 0 yesterday or below 0.
Oh, it hasn't been cold in Columbus. We had a heat wave yesterday of 40 degrees. It was amazing.
I said it's warming up in Columbus.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying. I was wondering if Jersey had the same thing.
It's supposed to be warmer today, so I'm probably gonna go out in a bit here and
get some sun.
Anything above 35 is short weather for me.
It's spring.
Yeah, I love it. People in Florida are bunkered down at 60 degrees. I am outside in 30-degree weather with shorts on. Like, woo-hoo! It's almost
I'm sure
summer.
Florida people can detect who came from the Midwest when they show up in shorts and it's super cold out.
Yeah, cold by their standards. Not really cold. That's all we got for you guys today. I'm going to go ahead and end up a little early. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Your support, it means the world to all of us. You guys can check out Mike at youtube.com/Mike McGTV. You guys can check out Justin and I at 3 Geeks Podcast across all social media platforms. Please take the time, hit that like button, drop a comment. Comments help. If you didn't like this video, hit the dislike button. It helps too. So whatever you want to do.
We don't see it.
Yeah, we don't see it. The audience
we do see it.
I did learn something yesterday, and that is that the universe dislikes a Mattalk reboot. So
it cracked me up. I pushed that short out, and it just like dislike. It's like, all right.
Yeah, you're supposed to like and dislike based on the content, not the
title of it, yeah.
The source material or whatever. But again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit that bell so you guys can get notified when we are live next. We are live next Sunday, same time, 10 a.m. Check out Remake Revolution dropping on Friday. It was Camp Nowhere horror remake versus Air Bud, a horror action remake where the dog was throwing basketballs at people, which would leave a basketball-sized hole through their chest. It was good stuff. Some nobodies, Jack Wallace, they did a terrific job. These guys always come with scripts. You'll remember Jack from the Showgirls, which I believe is one of the highest viewed videos on McGTV. Is that correct, Mike?
One of them, yeah, the Showgirls one, I believe.
Yeah. So check it out. We got our Prepared for Love with the Pattersons on Saturday night. We will be drinking and having fun and breaking all of our no cussing rules. So guys can tune into that. Let me read this last comment before we say goodbye. It says, great show. Thank you so much, buddy. We love you. And we'll see you guys again very, very soon.
See y'all.
Suck on your droids.
Right?